A deadly start to Easter Sunday, the latest from Sri Lanka, where a series of explosions have left hundreds dead. And a suspicious device causes a Valley apartment to evacuate, what Metro Police say they found during their investigation. Plus, nice and cool for your holiday here in Las Vegas. Sally Jaramillo has more in her Weather Now forecast. Your news starts right now.
Now, live, this is 8 News Now, Weekend Edition.
At least 207 people are dead and hundreds more injured following a series of explosions in Sri Lanka. Good morning and thanks for joining us on this Easter Sunday. I'm Orko Manna. Local officials say the blast happened at least 3 different church sites and 4 luxury hotels, all this Sunday morning. 3 police officers were killed in the final explosion. Authorities say 7 people linked to the attack have been arrested. Back here in the Valley, Metro Police say a plastic landmine caused an apartment complex to be evacuated last night. It started around 7:30 at the Breakers apartments near Sahara and Wallapai. Metro Police say it was at that time they received reports of a man with a gun. Officers were able to negotiate and eventually take the man into custody. Shortly after, Metro found what they determined was a suspicious device inside his apartment. The Las Vegas Bomb Squad and Metro Armor were called out and discovered the device was just a plastic replica. Well, the Vegas Golden Knights are hoping to score more than just Easter eggs on the ice. Today is Game 6 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Knights will face off against the San Jose Sharks once again at T-Mobile Arena. If they win, the Vegas-born team will advance to round 2. We caught up with some players ahead of the game. They say they feel the pressure, but will use it to their advantage.
You came here to be a cup contender, and a win tomorrow would get you considerably closer to that goal than most guys get. I mean, how special is that, and is that a pressure-packed situation?
No matter the situation you're in, you can look at pressure either side. I know analysts always want to try and look at who has the most pressure or who has the advantage in a certain game. But at the same time, this is what we've been doing since we're all 5 years old. Just go out there and play a hockey game, and we're going to enjoy playing the game in front of our home crowd, and we hope to enjoy the result.
Today's game starts at 4 p.m. 8 News Now will be at T-Mobile Arena with live coverage. If the Knights lose, the final matchup will take place Tuesday in San Jose. Well, it looks like the weather today is going to be absolutely perfect for everyone hunting for eggs this Easter Sunday. Sally Jaramillo has more in her Weather Now forecast.
Good Sunday morning and happy Easter to you. Well, those southwest breezes yesterday changed things up for your air quality, but you can notice that today we are doing good. Readings for the dust will be in good standing along with the ozone and the carbon. Hopefully it stays that way. The pollen, though, no good news here. Everything as the ash, olive, mulberry, and ragweed will be in the moderate count for today. But you can also notice that we are doing a little cooler today along with those north breezes. Notice temperatures ranging 77 degrees by noon, 3 p.m., 80 degrees. Those winds won't really be a problem for today. In the next couple of days, we're also noticing temperatures staying on the cooler trend before we warm up once again. Coming up in my full weather, we're going to be speaking a little bit more about this warming trend that's on the way, and could we see more 90s on the way? I'll let you know in my full forecast. Back to you, Orko.
Thanks, Sally. Earlier this week, the world watched as the Notre Dame Cathedral erupted into flames. Now, officials believe the fire started at the center of the building's roof. Omar Jimenez shows this tragedy cast a heavy shadow on one of the holiest days of the year.
Easter services are underway here in Paris, but not here at Notre Dame. They're happening at a separate location, but we can imagine what happened at this cathedral nearly a week ago is still top of mind. It's the Christian belief that Easter is about resurrection, and that belief getting added significance this year.
It's an Easter in Paris against a backdrop no one could have imagined, one without Notre Dame. Cristobal Ochoa is a photographer and took these pictures as the iconic cathedral spire came crashing down.
I saw a lot of people crying. It was very contagious crying because I wanted to cry too. Actually, I look around and I see people of all religions watching and feeling bad of the situation. It's not about a religion thing. It's about humans.
It's an impact that's been felt across the world, but especially in France, where President Emmanuel Macron hopes to rebuild in a matter of years. Meanwhile, the investigation into the fire's origins continues. Prosecutors have been looking at whether an electrical short circuit was to blame.
The building just got so small for a minute as the flames took over.
Jackie Gibson's pastry shop is right across the street from the cathedral.
The only time we ever go to church is Christmas and Easter, and we go to Notre Dame because that's our church.
And it's one that's still standing, as it has for hundreds of years. But one that almost burned down in a matter of hours.
Now, if there's a question as to whether people still care nearly a week later, last night there was a benefit concert for Notre Dame and more than 2 million people tuned in to watch. As for what's next, well, all the major artifacts and paintings are out of there. It's really just a matter of keeping the centuries-old structure stable and beginning what is set to be a long road to restoration. Reporting from Paris, I'm Omar Jimenez.
St. Jude's Ranch brought the Easter fun a little early for some local kids. Yesterday, the Center for Children Who Have Been Abused, Neglected, or Exploited hosted its annual community Easter egg hunt at its Boulder City campus. Kids searched for eggs filled with candy and prizes. There was also one golden egg hidden for each age bracket, and get this, those were filled with cash. The event was open to the public, but for some of the children who live on campus, this was their first time experiencing the egg hunt tradition. And thousands packed into downtown Summerlin this weekend, all to celebrate the Earth. The 10th annual Green Fest took place yesterday. More than 100 vendors offered tips and tools to help people live more sustainably. Attendees learned about saving power, water, and gas. There was food, live music, and interactive displays. The Green Alliance hosts this event every year. Representatives say they're happy with the progress our community has made to go green, but that there's always room for improvement.
It's not optional anymore. To me, I feel like this is the time that we all just have to really, really grab a hold of it and do everything that we can in every single way. And over the next 10 years, it just becomes the way of life.
Our own Sherry Swensk emceed the event. Tune into 8 News Now Good Day tomorrow, where she'll have more in her Living Green segment. Well, tons of people celebrated another kind of green this weekend. After the break, see how yesterday was extra special for a local dispensary. And coming up later in the show, a Nevada highway trooper goes above and beyond for a furry victim. The heartwarming story when 8 News Now returns.